Hi guys, it's Jennifer. I'm just doing a kit share for one of the two kits I've recently done for an order. The kits are in my shop and they are custom, so they don't have a lot of pictures because they're based on customer needs. I will add some more pictures as I go along. This one is for the vintage baby kit. So I will start with the paper, and this is for the 5x7. There's a traveler's notebook size and the 5x7, and the kit comes with everything you'll need with exception to covers for the book if you want something more specific, and adhesive and basic papers. It just comes with like specialty papers. For example, for the cover for a 5x7, you would probably need like a piece of muslin or one of these big sheets here. These are like, I think 12 by 15 or 14 by 20. I can't remember the exact size, but you can get them free at lots of stores. And then you'll get 3 pieces of chipboard. They're 5x7, and then I include a very big spine, so you can cut it down if you want, or if you want the, I think it's 2.5 or 3-inch spine. For this particular order, I did include, because I think she wanted a cloth cover, I included this really pretty cloth, and I'm trying to get some fabric kits in my shop. As soon as I get some more time, I will get them up. But this has just got a real dusty pink and this gorgeous floral, so I thought that would make a really nice cover. Another option I've had, and actually I don't have it here, was just more of a little dusty pink roses, real small rosebuds. But like I said, with fabric covers, I suggest wrapping it in either a real thin newsprint or muslin and then laying this over it. It gives it more durability. It makes the cover not look so cheap, I guess to say, is my opinion. I also like to wash and iron my fabric. Everyone has a different, different way they do things. You could probably coffee dye this if you wanted it darker. I mean, it is pretty cream. So you could do that. Sorry, just making sure I'm in frame. I have a new camera set up and it's driving me crazy. So I guess I'll start with the little bits and bobs so I can put those back in. So my kits say over 120 items. This one, I gave up count after like 180. I stopped counting because I was like, okay, well over what I list. I just keep going, and I want the kits, I do really chunky journals, so I want to make sure it's real full. This is a little envelope. I thought maybe it would be good for baby's first hair or something like that. These are little punch outs from vintage wallpaper and vintage wrapping paper. I think there's some more in here too. This is just a little pink rehearsal card. It has like a little compliment on it. Some book punch outs. These are some little booty die cuts. Sorry, there's a shadow. Another piece of paper cut out. I love this little bird. It's so cute. And that could be boy or girl, but I thought it was just darling. This is a little baby in a crib. Another little baby in a bassinet. A vintage style label. This is a little punch out from a book, I believe, and it's got just a cute little bassinet, and I inked the edges, oops, with the pink, with the pink oxide inks. This is a little love stamp, a little lamb die cut. I love this little lamb, and I guess in the 50s, these were like window clings they had for you to put in your window, which is cool. This is just another baby in a bassinet. This was an extra printout I had from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. All these little bits and bobbles here, I think I got them all, are just punch outs from some of the paper, and they're retired punches, so I know a lot of people don't have them. And I think last time I checked, like a year ago, the punches of the tab punches and these other word window punches were going for like $60. But anyway, so that's the tab punches, so there's a set of those. And then there's these little, I think they're window, I can't remember what they're called. It's a Stampin' Up punch, but basically you punch this out, and then this is the little word punch you also punch out, and you can stamp something on there. I use them on greeting cards all the time, but I thought maybe like baby's first hair or something just to put a label on one of the pictures. So I put a few of those in there, and then I added some butterflies, some other punches, little tags. So there's just a little variety there. There's some pink money. There's 2 playing cards. I thought this was perfect with the pink bow and the pink rose. There is this little book cutout. It's a cutout from a baby book, and it had something on the back. I think it was another one of the pages. I just had that in my collection. I thought it was just really darling. And then these are, there's some more bits and bobs. These are tags that I got from a digi printable kit I've had in my stash for a while. Actually, first, these are just a couple of other die cuts. It's from a 50s or 60s, actually I think it's 60s birthday card, and then just something from the Graphics Fairy. But these I've had in my digital stash for a while, and they're little talcum powder tags, and I have them in all sorts of sizes and colors, but these were the baby or children's, which I just love. This babykin talcum powder is so cute. I love the pink. And I inked the edges again. That oxide ink gives it a real blended, vintage, dusty look. I just really like it a lot better than the regular oxide inks, for vintage especially. Sorry if there's a shadow. Oops. Okay. Oh, 6 minutes. I better get to it. Okay. And then there's this little cute one. This one's borated talcum powder by the Menin Company. And this really cute little blue one. And then I included 2 tags if you want. And I do have tons of these. I keep meaning to list in my shop. I just get so busy. Next, there's a little glassine bag, and I just love these little tickets. These are vintage tickets. They're not duplicates. A little pink number 5. A little, red 10, which I thought this might be cute for maybe baby's first Valentine's or Christmas. And then this one's my absolute favorite. It's a little 3-cent school milk ticket. Like, how totally cute. This is a vintage, just arrived announcement, and it's got a really cool pearlized look to it and dusty pink. And it does have some writing in it, but it's in pencil. But it's got some really cute images. There is glassine envelope and bags, and I can't tell if they're coffee dyed or tea dyed. I do both. I'm guessing tea because that's what I tend to do the most of, but I keep them in my vintage stuff. Pink, and this actually looks gorgeous with some trim on it, or even like a small, like, I mean, this isn't really a die cut, but that would work too, like a little die cut on the outside. This is a vintage tag, and I got these things from Feed the Birdies in the paper basket, and then the tickets I got from my friend Margaret, Moxie Girl. This is some birthday paper, some cute little Beatrix Potter cards, and I backed them with some really cute Prima paper. And I absolutely love Beatrix Potter. So cute. Sorry for the noises in the back. My daughter is making noise. This is a cute little While You Were Out message sheet. This is one of the original American Girl note sheets, which I guess technically is retro, not vintage, because it's 30 years old. This is a vintage mom and baby, a scan from a vintage book page, and actually, oh no, never mind. I was thinking of something else, sorry. And then this is one of the covers from the book page. And then these are all cutouts, and I mostly used the Authentique baby paper because it's really vintage looking, got really nice colors, and a few other sheets that coordinated. This is just a Stampin' Up envelope. Little tag with tuck. I just think this is so cute, and you can hang it or put a little ribbon or something like that there. There's a couple of these. Oh, right there. A couple of these Stampin' Up tags. This one has little diaper pins, and this one's got like a vintagey cream with some, I don't know, swishy, swirly things. Another Authentique tag. And this is a different paper, but it's got a really cool texture. It's got diaper pins with green on the back. These are 2 labels that have been, they're cut out and then they're embossed, so they keep a really great shape. I have 4 of the little bags in various colors. This is a little diaper pin, like a lacy pink, the Authentique, and then my absolute favorite Authentique is this rose with the green. A couple of these tags. This is the Tim Holtz tag. This is a real small floral, the Authentique, and Authentique. This is another Stampin' Up tag punch, and this actually folds. I'm not going to fold it in case you don't want it folded, and it tucks under on the top, so you could put, I don't know, little hidden words or a little something like, I don't know, something cute, baby's hospital bracelet or something under there. 2 file folders, and I cut them so they were going opposite directions in case you wanted one a different direction. And this is like a real dusty pink with the cream, and then some embossing, like really pretty sparkly color. And then this is just a dusty pink plaid. These are 2 digi printout lined papers, and I just cut them so that they were connected in a ticket shape, just for some easy journaling. 1 big ticket, and then I have 4 of the top, I think it's called the top note die. It's another Stampin' Up die that's retired, and I made a real big print, made sure it was centered with the really cool embossing, and you can put a photo on the front or back in journaling. Same with this. I absolutely love this die, and they also make great pockets. It's one of my favorite Stampin' Up dies. Oop. Looks like that one had a little extra piece that didn't cut all the way through. There we go. And this is a really tiny envelope. I didn't fold it because it was starting to get too puffy. And then 2 bassinets. And what I've used for this before is you could adhere it down and you can put a photo here. Or if you want to put a little baby face here and write, like, first time baby sleeps through the night or something like that. Really cute in baby albums. A really pretty napkin with scallops for decoupage. A couple of vintage note sheets. I better check my time. I went way over yesterday. Okay, I gotta hurry. These are some book pages. One is on like nursery baby showers. They're from the 60s. And then this one was on sock puppets. A vintage stationery, a really big bag you could fold for the 5x7 journal, nice pocket, 2 sheets of this really thin pink vintage typing paper, 2 sheets of this dusty pink like Xerox paper, and then these are from a book about Victorian baby stuff, and like this photo is from the 1800s. The First Duty of Parents, and it's got a really nice image and some words, and these are the perfect size to fit in a 5x7 if you even want to trim it and put lace. This is a lullaby for baby, and the Sandman poem and baby. So last is the fabric and trims, the rest of it. In here is a bunch of buttons, the little vintage buttons, little vintage teeny tiny tickets, a vintage flower, the rolled roses, one I made, one I did not, and that's a real dusty vintage pink, and oops, sorry, and this is just a rolled rose I made. And then also is the rusty safety pins and book plate, some vintage colored buttons and everything. So I thought that's a nice blend. Some trims. This is a really rosy pink, and then this is a like light brown with white. A really fuzzy fun fur, and this coffee or tea dyes really nicely because it's cotton. It's actually meant for baby blankets. And then these little baby trims, the little pink bears, and I added a little bit of the blue in case you wanted to add blue. The laces are all vintage with exception of like 2 of them. This is some pink eyelet, This handmade vintage lace. This is a trim from, I think, the 90s. This is my absolute favorite trim, and I put an extra piece, a big piece in there because you can also like put it on the top of tags and it gives it a really cool look, or put a couple on the top of a bag. Some white eyelet that dyes really well. This is not vintage, but I love the soft baby white feel. This is a really thin white lace. A nice, really old trim. It's got some really nice detailing. This is almost like a tatted, I'll do this one first. It's a really thin handmade crocheted trim. This one's almost like a tatted type trim. And this I absolutely love. It's rickrack, but it's got really fine stitching all down the center, and it goes really great with that authentic paper. A piece from a really big doily, and this makes a great pocket. Another big piece of a handmade super vintage lace, and I added some extra because you can cut it in thirds if you like and add it on the top of little mini bags or tags or what have you. This is another handmade piece, and this is a really thin crocheted piece. This one is not vintage, but I really loved the look of the little flowery lace piece. This is pink vintage lace. Some embroidery cutouts I had in my stash that I thought would go great on the edges of pages or on some pockets. This is a big eyelet, and I don't know if this is like vintage or retro, but it was in with my vintage items, so I just thought it was perfect for baby. And another thing that dyes really well. Some pieces of vintage fabric. This one is a paper doll fabric, and this was the baby section. Little pink. This is not vintage, but I love the look, and you can overlay it on paper or on, you know, something else, and it's really pretty. Another piece of fabric, just really nice colors, and again, if you want a coffee dye it or tea dye, it dyes really well. This is another vintage fabric. I think this was from a vintage linen. This is a 30s print, little bunnies. And I also have this in blue when I do the boy kids. This is one of my favorites. It's enough to make 2 pockets, and it's part of a 50s napkin and placemat set, but it is all hand stitched. It is not done by a machine, and you can tell when you look at it. It's completely done by hand. So I kept it whole in case you wanted one big pocket, or to put it like in the middle of a signature, and then you can, you know, sew the signature, and then you'd have 2 pockets on either side. So I didn't cut that, but it is enough definitely for 2. If you did just a corner chunk, you could probably make 4. This is from a vintage curtain, and then this is a vintage upholstery, and I always use the white side, but it is colored on this side, but I've actually covered an entire book on just the white side. So that is the kit. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'll leave the listing below, and have a great day. Bye.